You're entering VTV's Chamber Zone. Your business community at work. Representing the Vernal Area and Duchesne County Chambers of Commerce, here's Adam Massey and Irene Hansen.
Hi, I'm Adam Massey with the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, and joining me today is my co-host Irene Hansen with the Duchesne County Chamber of Commerce. And you're watching Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Irene, it's great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Survived all the holidays.
I did. How about you?
Yeah, we made it through.
We made it through.
Now I can start my New Year's resolutions and get halfway with them and then quit, I guess. But anyway, yeah, we're getting into that time of the year, and you know, we've got some, as we transition into the new year, we've got some new and exciting things coming up for Chambers and also economic development, which you do, and you know, just a lot of different things going on. And one of the first things we were talking a little bit about was Rural Utah Day, which is going to be on January 31st. And I know in the last couple of years, really, since that's come about, we've really made a push from our areas out here in the basin to make sure that we get people out to that, and you know, we've done a good job too. We've had a lot in attendance.
We have been well represented.
We really have, and I think it goes along with you know, we see the needs. Obviously our area is different than the Wasatch Front and Utah County, and so we see the need to get out there and make sure that our voices get heard. And I always look forward to going out there and getting to hear from you know, a lot of the legislators and other people that come and speak, and the governor and lieutenant governor. You know, so I'm excited for that, and we'll look forward to getting more people out. And I know you're always involved with that, and have different things going on. Of course, you represent travel and tourism as well as everything else that you do there, so it's always an important day for us.
You know, generally the Rural Day on the Hill is usually 1 or 2 days apart from the Travel and Tourism Day on the Hill.
Close, yeah.
But last year Duchesne County and Uintah County were very well represented. We both put up booths. We both have our beautiful little pull-up screens that represent our area, and so Uintah County and Duchesne County very well represented. Lots of people came out. Now, did you come last year?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the nice thing is they generally set us up in a room, and then what's kind of impressive is legislators, you know, rural Utah is there in force, and legislators and very important people come and really come in to have an audience with us.
Yes, they do.
And you know, it's impressive. And you know, there are times that you wonder, what is the real commitment to rural Utah? I don't think we have to wonder that anymore for a lot of reasons. But first of all, this administration, our governor, and in his picks of lieutenant governors, has really proven that he is a rural Utah advocate. The nice thing, what's in our interest is also in the state of Utah's best interest. Isn't that's the win-win?
It is.
He doesn't. It's not either or, because when rural Utah prospers, Utah prospers.
Absolutely.
And but that day is a very special day, and again, we would highly encourage, you know, if there's chamber members out there, someone that would like to come, business people, I think it's a day well spent. Starts at 7 in the morning, ends at like 3 in the afternoon, so it's certainly doable. And a very busy day, but lots of good dialogue with legislators. And they honestly and sincerely ask for our input. What is important to rural Utah? For our area, we know it's about the energy industry, agriculture, technology, you know, tourism and travel, all of those things, natural resource production. So all of those things are important, and a lot of side conversations going.
That's what I was going to say, and you get to have an opportunity to meet with those legislators and have them hear you one-on-one. You know, an opportunity to do that is fantastic for people to be able to take advantage of that. And so I believe it's a Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
January 31st, 2014. So if anybody would like to come, get a hold of either chamber.
Absolutely.
And we'll make sure that you get the information on where you need to be and the times and everything else. And that sounds great. And you were also mentioning, you know, I'd like to, and you and I talked about this, a huge thank you to our former Lieutenant Governor, Greg Bell. You know, very supportive. He's come out, he spoke at many events out here for both areas, and you know, I really got to have an appreciation for him. And the first time I met him, I think he came out and spoke at, I don't remember if it was the water conference that we had here in Duchesne County, but you know, he just does a fantastic job, and really build up a friendship with him. and his love of, like you said, rural Utah. And and now we have Spencer Cox, the new Lieutenant Governor, who you know very well.
I've known him for 10 years.
Yeah, so what a great relationship and an opportunity for our area with that relationship you have with him. And when you know people like that, you feel like you can go to them and say, hey, how come you're doing this? You need to do this.
When we found out Lieutenant Governor Bell had decided to resign, I was brokenhearted because, I not only make it my mission to form relationships with people, but I come to love them, and I get very, very attached. And we had developed this strong, wonderful friendship, and he is an amazing man, a great leader, a consummate businessman, and he's just wise. He's the type of person you're a better person because you were around him.
Absolutely.
I was heartbroken and didn't think anything could console me, to be honest with you. But then all of a sudden Spencer Cox was nominated, and of course has now become, and he is just a bright light. So the governor said he's a Greg Bell, only shorter and younger. And it's the truth. You couldn't ask for anybody better.
And it's fantastic. I had an opportunity to hear him at the governor's transportation conference back in November, and then he also came and spoke at our special service district training seminar that we had, and so I had an opportunity haven't had a chance to meet him yet, but I did get a chance to hear him. So I'm excited to build a relationship there also, and it's fantastic that you know him and have known him for a long time. Those are the kind of relationships you want to have. So, well, we'll be right back to talk more about your local chambers of commerce and different community events right after this.
Almost 45% of the oil produced in Utah, 7.8 million barrels, comes from Duchesne County. That oil feeds our state economy, provides job growth, and supports local business. Here in Duchesne County, we're working to make Utah an economic, cultural, and technological leader. Whether you're here for business or pleasure, Duchesne County will welcome you with open arms and invite you to explore all the beauty of the Uinta Mountains. Duchesne County, close enough for business, far enough to get away.
Welcome back to Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Irene, in the first half we were talking a little bit about Rural Day Utah and the importance of making sure we're represented from rural Utah in our area, from the basin here, and about the new Lieutenant Governor and the key role that he will play. And you and I were just talking, and we thought maybe we'd just talk a little bit about chambers and businesses and what we do, and I guess how can chamber membership benefit the businesses? I know that's a question you get a lot. I know I do. Every time we try to go in and talk to a business about why chamber is important, and so maybe we can spend a little bit of time talking about that, and I'd love to hear your side, so I can put them in my repertoire too when I go out. But I know you have a lot of experience with that.
Well, I think the thing that I've always appreciated about the Vernal Chamber, and certainly the Vernal Chamber has always been one of my inspirations. And something I really appreciate is the fact that you guys still do weekly luncheons. And that's hard. I mean, I can tell you we don't do weekly luncheons. We do them more like monthly. And we have a lot of roundtable discussions. Of course, we cover the whole county, so we're moving and moving throughout the county and doing things. But I like the consistency of that luncheon. In fact, unfortunately, I don't make very many, but I like even thinking to myself, oh, it's Tuesday. I could go to the Vernal Chamber luncheon if I'm in Vernal.
Exactly.
And meet with people and say hello. And I know that listening to speakers, a lot of times I've gotten an email from you or from someone here in Vernal, from Tammy, and they'll say, oh, guess who's going to be at the Chamber luncheon? Maybe it's Congressman Matheson. Maybe it's Senator Lee. It's someone important,
Sure.
and I know that there's something that I can gain from that, and I know our chamber members do too. Now, we do a lot of networking opportunity, because I think that that's why many people join the chamber. They want networking.
Right.
And but to have that consistency is important, to have those opportunities to learn. So, you know, tell me about, I mean, you do those weekly luncheons, finding good speakers. That stuff is hard, and you have restaurants that are willing to accommodate you, and that's a wonderful thing.
You're exactly right, and that's one of the toughest things that I found at Chamber is you sit down and you think, okay, we're going to do 46 of those or something this year. Who do we get? And try to keep them fresh, and you try to bring in people that are going to be relevant to what your membership wants. And you know, and it's a struggle. We try to key it in timing. If we look at a month and maybe that particular month we're going to be doing something specific going on in the community, so we'll try. Or
maybe it's tax time.
Yeah.
So time for an accountant to come
exactly. So you try to have it relevant to what's going on at that time of the year. And you know, and I love what you do and what you've been telling me about over in your area. And we've done this one time and it was a huge success, but you're doing it consistently with a huge success, is going out and holding them at your different chamber members' businesses.
Yeah.
And what a great opportunity to highlight that business, because there's a lot of times that there's businesses that unless I'm doing a specific thing, I may never get in that business. I would not know what that business is about. I would not know how it functions, what their purposes are. And when you can take that luncheon to that business, what a huge advantage for that business to have people come in and see their business and what they're doing and what they're all about. And I love that idea. It's a great idea.
And you know what, it works well. And to be honest with you, you can make it work whether you have 5 show up or whether you have 55.
Sure.
Simply because if you don't have a place to sit, you just do a sack lunch when it's all over. We did one out at Mountain Land Supply. They're just out of Roosevelt. And they took us on a tour, explained, showed us all the departments, and then as people left, that took about 30 minutes. As they left, we just had everything ready for a sack lunch to take back to their office. But that has been a huge success, and we are now getting requests from all of our chamber members, when can you come to our business? And we do that complimentary, so when people show up, there's no cost to the lunch at all.
Great benefit to the
company. That is a good benefit to our chamber members. And in fact, we're excited out by Newfield. There's been a lot of development out there south of Highway 40. They actually call it the Mighton area, Mighton Bench area. But we're planning on doing a couple of big grand openings and things out there. And again, easy to do lunch while we're at it. So we are a little bit flexible in that. But you know, chamber benefits for members go so far beyond that. Every day, I know you get phone calls. We get maybe as much as 100 a day, sometimes not quite that many, of people asking for services, people wanting recommendations, realtors to call, dentists, you know, florists. And what's nice is, you know, you can say these are the ones in our community that are chamber members. And isn't it nice? That really carries something.
It does.
A level of trust.
It absolutely
carries
does.
a huge benefit for those chamber members.
You know, and a lot of the studies that I've seen that have been done, you know, that's one of the hugest, the largest benefits of chamber, is because chambers, the membership there are some of the most trusted businesses. And they are. And it just, you know, that spills over into the community.
It shows that they care too.
It does. It absolutely does. And, you know, so it's a huge benefit. You know, one of the things, and you've touched on all 3 of them here, Irene, that I've always looked at is the biggest benefits of chamber. And number 1 is the relationships. And I've watched you, and you're the master of that, because you really know how to treat people, and that's really what it's all about. People want you to listen to them, and they just want to be treated with respect. And it's about those relationships that you develop. And the other one that you touched on was the networking opportunities. People want to be able to come and network with other business owners and talk about what they do and how they can make their business better and how they can pitch that business to people to get more customers. And the third one is advocacy. And then we talked a little bit about going out to the Rural Utah Day. You know, and that's an opportunity of things we can do for chamber members when we're out there, because we're out there representing. They may not be with us, but we're still there representing them and their ideas and their ideals and what's best for them. And you know, and they tell us, I know you get it and I get it too, of what concerns they have. And so that's 3 huge benefits, I think, that we provide. And so hopefully we can continue to do that. Well, we're out of time. That's it for this Chamber Zone. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6. and we'll see you then. Thank you.